Welcome back to another video. Today I am discussing Black Clover as well as the recent Black Clover chapters. As we know, the recent Black Clover chapters, it is seen that Asta has been fighting a clone, or sorry, this manga spoilers by the way, fighting a clone of Jude. I'm forgetting his name. I want to call him Zeno so bad, but it's not. Anyway, he's been fighting a clone of the final villain of hopefully of the anime, of the manga, in terms, and just finds out that he has been consistently overpowered, and that now this villain has a combination of all the magics that he stole from deceased people's members, or deceased people's dead bodies, of course. Now, within that, Asta essentially gets decimated as he cannot keep up with the speed, the magic that's thrown at him, the deep difference of the magic thrown at him. He just can't keep up and is ultimately decimated and worn out. Now, as we see Yuno, which is my main complaint. We see Yuno join the fight. As we know, Yuno in past chapters have been fighting, and he's also awakened a new form as he found his heritage in the Spade Kingdom, as he is now the rightful heir to the Spade Kingdom throne, or at least I think he knows that, as well as star magic. So that's that. So now he has spirit magic, star magic, as long as his base is of just 4-leaf clover, wind magic. Now this is where my complaint comes in, or at least for the Black Clover, or at least for me as someone who really loves Black Clover. We know in Black Clover, I'm not stupid to this, that Asta and Yuno are consistently surpassing each other. It's Asta's climbing the ranks to surpass Yuno. Yuno has almost always been stronger than Asta within the story, and then Asta would catch up a little bit, maybe surpass him a little bit. But even now, it was still neck and neck, even when Asta would learn his ki. But now Yuno has basically have control over a little bit, has control over anti-magic and regular spirit and wind and star magic. Excuse me. For me, as we know, there was an announcement that came out. I don't know if I'll pick the picture up. There's an announcement that came out saying this would be the final arc of Black Clover. And as we know, we now established that Yuno cannot become the Wizard King. He would be the Spade King, and Asta will become the Wizard King. They should supposed to have the final transformations in the final battle, as much as real good shonens do. We know this. At least I know this, right? So they should have their final forms, and if anything, they should work together to fight. And as much as when people say, oh, it's been foreshadowed, it's been talked about that this would eventually happen, I would like to see the scans, the chapters, the anime episodes about this foreshadowing, because we always see them working together. I would have loved to see them work together at the end and then take respectfully at their thrones as kings. But now, as we've seen, this version of Yuno outclasses the version of Asta that we've seen, even though we know Asta is supposed to be the strongest person walking right now, because he's been to Yami's land, he's learned ki, he's learned all these different things, or I think Rietsu, to help put into practice to fight against this villain. So we know that Asta stated multiple times throughout past chapters that came out, should be the strongest person. Now, if you want to say, oh, but this is shonen, it makes sense for the villain to get a little bit of power up. Yeah, it makes sense, of course. And then to come into play, do a little partnership, and fight together. That makes sense. It should be those two against him, because it was always those two against the world. So I'm not complaining. I'm like, why give him a form? We know Asta is the only person that could have used anti-magic. Why can Yuno use anti and now regular spirit/star magic? What? Now, eventually, Asta will get another form after Yuno and surpass Yuno yet again in a couple of chapters. Black Clover is not that consistent, and I love Black Clover, and I think it's by Tabeta. Tabeta gets his health right. It's stressful to even work on kind of these chapters to push him out. So I respect the effort, and I love this series that he has pushed out for us. So I get it. I ultimately do get it. I just don't get giving Yuno another form. Why does he need that? And it's not like there's Black Clover games to give him these forms with, unless there's a Black Clover game coming out that I don't know of. Um, yeah, there's no reason for this. Now Asta has to get another form, but if they just left, now if they leave the story as is, defeats the final villain, and that's it, and and Asta recovers, yada yada, kings of their respective kingdoms, as we know, then Yuno will forever be stronger than Asta, just because Yuno was able to exercise both anti-magic and regular magic, though he shouldn't be able to. He does inevitably, because anti-magic would eventually drain his regular magic. He's not doing a sacrifice. He can maintain the form correctly, perfectly. Or at least we'll see if he can maintain this form in an elongated fight. And Asta's down for the count. What is the point of this? Now, unless Asta somehow awakens some magic that was taken from him by his mom draining his life force or magic when Asta's mom was still alive, then I get it. I get it. Cool. Return his original magic plus the anti-magic in this form. So I get it. I completely get it. But if not, even when Asta gets his anti-magic back, he'll still be weaker than Yuno. I don't agree with it, because they're both the main characters. I love it, right? But Yuno should, at least this late of the game, should not be stronger than Asta. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, but they're taking the Naruto and Sasuke route. Sasuke has always been more skilled than Naruto. Naruto beats the brakes off of Sasuke in terms of raw power. It was a skill versus power debate. Naruto was so raw powerful that he never really had good ki control. Not for Sage mode, not for regular ki control. He does have better ki control in KCM and KCM2, and of course Sage's 6-pass mode. That's kind of it. It's towards the end of the story where he really learns how to control his chakra. But before that, not really. He can't do it because he has such an overload of it. So I don't really understand the Naruto Sasuke comparison. If people want to elaborate more in the comments, you can. But I don't really like this in terms of how the story is going. I feel like if anything, they should just team up to beat him down and not, having both the anti-magic and regular magic. That just makes no sense to me, at least in the overall story. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.